one of the most extraordinary, adventurous, entertaining, and reckless individuals I've ever known. I was always proud and excited to be his sister, but he was not without his flaws, which is what inspired a few of the first poems I'll present to you tonight. Jesus Fix. Can you guys hear me? Do I need to? Am I? Okay.
Speaking into the microphone.
Okay, good. Jesus Fix. Just 16 and bumping along the moving truck, Texas to California. Big brother, my Jesus, drives. Just him and me sitting tall in my seat, soaking in this precious stretch of time. So hungry for my big brother. His rambling man lifestyle left me home and lonely, with just me and Dad, waiting, always waiting for the surprise appearance, the coveted phone call. But now I have him all to myself on this long trip, my savior, my brother, with his wild stories, adventurous life. Dad follows behind with the dog and the Chevy Impala. Right now, my life can't get any better. But my brother, my Jesus, he needs a fix. Confidently steers the truck with his knees, ties off his arm. My brother, Jesus, he needed a fix. Twisted turn of expectations tests my faith, sucks my innocence out of the cab, into the landscape of nothing but the passing desert. I keep lookout as best I can, try not to act shocked. Show my Savior, I am cool. Jesus, I can handle this. Mentor my brother, melting milky heroin in a spoon, squeezing my life smaller as I watch the needle bloody his arm. Holy time, I tell my faithful self as he presents the offering. Want to lick the spoon? I turn the scene into a touching moment of a home movie, a bowl of cake batter, so natural to lick that spoon. But the flavor is not creamed butter and sugar. Bitter opiate pins my pupil, foams my mouth. Hot Arizona hotel has a cool bathroom floor. Dad assumes I am car sick. For hours I heave on that floor and contemplate my Savior. This next one is called El Paso. Her name was Irma, y ella no habla inglés. So when I got home from school, I would prattle off my pidgin Spanish, and she would make sopapillas. My brother would blow in with his junky girlfriend from time to time, and a new puppy. They would fuck on my bed, and it would smell like pussies and dicks. He would haul the stolen goods up to our apartment. A mounted deer head, a gold clock, bags of things, and stow them. My dad would uselessly protest. Irma would disappear right when we needed her most, leaving us piles of puppy poop and dirty sheets. Then my brother would blow out again. And after Dad and I were done cleaning the house, Irma would promptly return and make me sopapillas, pillows of fried flour tortillas sprinkled with sugar and cinnamon. I loved Irma. Thank you. His gloves. Raw from the tears and dazed by the pure shock of it, I shuffled through his house in the wake of his final self-destruction, touching things he last touched. Where the shot rang out, still ringing my ears. My tear-stripped cheeks bearing my underseams, not much left of me without him. Like seeing underwater, I was swimming surreal, everything still in its place despite the implode. And here's where he did it, in the shower. Not much blood, just a tip of a bullet hole in the tile, neat and tidy. And the things he last touched, still in their places, except him, And I touch these things and wander around like I'm a ghost without him, shuffling like a zombie to his work table, where I see his hands just as he left them, the curve of his fingers, one hand and then the other, my sweet brother's hands cast right there in lifeless form. Crack in the throat of my heart as I stand there holding his hollow hands. Thank you. Okay, now we'll try to lighten it up a little bit. Since we're here on the bay, this is a piece about the coast. It's called Mendocino in an Eggshell. The sky is a solid eggshell. No cracks to permit sun rays to shine in. Salt vapors christen my nose, drench my paper walls, dissolving the mood that was trailing me. Mother Sea baptizes the shore over and over and over until the shore also releases whatever it's been holding on to, leaving a blank beach of sand curving hellos beneath me. The stillness in the air stills my spirit, but then the chilly fog, vertigo cliffs, and hatcheting waves strike me so close I can embrace the terror and loneliness reflected in the raw metallic water and colorless sky. I am afraid but mesmerized, in love, yet I shrivel in the face of this gigantic beauty and power that pounds and cleanses and forces me out of the eggshell limits of my own little world. Thank you. So I'm going to read this one because it was inspired by Janice. It was after I had kind of reconnected with her. So it's called Timeless Keeper. In the time it took to push the coffee press down, we had relived a bubble, experienced again a time we had laughed and rollicked together, that time we saw the world from another side of the horizon. Since the 18 years since I last saw you, your eyebrow still has that story, and your stance still of an archer with a paintbrush as your arrow. Pure heart even still, never lost by the keeper. Timeless quilter that weaves not our time, but the shapes of our gestures, the textures of our intentions, and the patterns that may temporarily blind us, but ultimately spin us to new fragments of ourselves, patched together, making new possibilities. Timeless keeper of the sanctity of friendship, of sacred connection and kindred spirits. Timeless keeper of the artist's expression, clouds of floating creativity that can only be lost by closing your eyes and making a fist. You kept your eyes open, kept open your hand, breathed in the timeless keeper, not living on the calendar, free of the horologist's dial. Timeless keeper, where distance is unreal, where time is only a word, where lines are actually curves bending to circles, circles to spirals that breathe back to life a memory lost in the past. So this last piece is meant to be humorous, so feel free to chuckle. It's called A Tepid Bath with Jack Nicholson. Lukewarm water roars into the bathtub. My nerves ache for that shot of relief only blazing water can give. I release myself to float in the cowardly bath, squirming to keep my skin from making contact with the comfortless air. I bet Jack Nicholson doesn't have to take tepid baths. I meditate on the medicine chest poking out like a 1970s TV. I bet he has a recessed medicine chest and spicy hot water never ending. I close my eyes to the shower curtain and pretend the water is luxurious enough, brave enough to give me the hot bite I want. And it comes to me that I know Jack Nicholson doesn't have to be annoyed at his spouse for turning down the blasted water heater to supposedly save a few dollars. I know this because I read they live in separate houses. He never has a spouse sneaking around like a gremlin, moving things, but especially turning water heaters down to save money. This, of course, makes me hate Jack Nicholson because he is rich and never has to take a tepid bath. Maybe if I wait long enough, the water will be hotter when I turn it on again. But no, it's cooler. I'm going to kill my husband when he gets home. He's going to wish we lived in separate houses. There's nothing like a tepid bath to get your blood boiling.